I hope so. You all are going great. It's all fine and it's all going very, 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 very great. Learning maths with me, learning English with me. Like we are just done with these two lectures, so this may go very well from you, and you're very, very interested in watching these type of lectures. And I hope so you're having no difficulties or no problems in facing my lectures. So again, we are in maths, as you know, so we are going to start the math lecture today once again. And fraction is present in our mind. So we'll start our day by starting dua for knowledge. Bismillah Rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma. Eh mere Rabb mere ilm mein izafa farma. So today the topic is division of fractions, like pictorially and numerical solution, both the ways going to do. As you know, we are done with equivalent fraction, like and unlike fraction. We are even done with multiplication of fraction, addition, subtraction of fraction, addition, subtraction, multiplication. What problems pictorially, numerical, these all things are done. So today I took a new topic, that is division of fractions, and inshallah so gone we are going to do the work problems of division of fractions also. But first of all, you have to focus on today's topic, that is division of fractions, pictorially and numerical solution. So what is division of fractions? First of all, you should know what's division. So division is the inverse process of multiplication. Inverse basically means opposite. Okay, whenever you are not, you're going to be familiar with the word inverse, you're going to say that the opposite. Okay, so division is the opposite process of multiplication. Like how we can write a division sentence, like in English we do sentence formation, so in maths how we can write division sentence. So like if I'm having how many fives are there in 20, that means 20 divided by 5. We have to find out total 5 present in 20. Okay, then we're having how many 2's are present in 30. Now we have to check in 30 how many 2's are present, isn't this? So for that we have to do 30 divided by 2. And then we're having how many 2/3 are there in 6 holes. Now we have to find in 2/3 6 holes. That means 6 divided by 2/3. Then we're having an important fact about number 0. Let me tell you about important fact about number 0. So 0 divided by any number equals to 0. Whenever you're going to divide any number with 0, like 0 divided by 1 equals to 0 divided by 2 equals to 0 divided by 1000 equals to 0. Like if you're going to divide any number by 0, you're going to get 0. ठीक है, any number that's divided by 0, that's undefined or impossible. ठीक है, like if I'm going to divide 3 divided by 0, that is impossible, that is undefined, that cannot happen. This case can happen, that 0 can be divided by any number. So like 0 divided by 1 equals to 0, but that's not possible that any number can be divided by 0. Okay, this is not possible. Now let me tell you an important fact about number 1. Like 1 divided by any number, that is a unit fraction or proper fraction. So whenever I'm going to divide 1 with any number, like 1 divided by 7 equals to 1/7. If I put that into fraction, that means whenever we divide 1 by any number, that means unit fraction, and a unit fraction is a proper fraction. Then we're having any number divided by 1. So that means whole number, like 19 divided by 1 equals to 19 over 1, that we're going to get 19 whole. So if any number will be divided by 1, we are going to get whole number, and if 1 will going to be divided by any number, we are going to get a unit fraction. Then let's start with the pictorial solution of division of a whole number by fractions. Like how many 2 6 are there in one whole? We have to find out 2 6 in one whole. So here 1 is the whole and 2 is the group's total, and 6 is the divisions or total part. Okay, so I'm going to have the answer 3, because there are 3 2 6 in one whole, because I'm going to put 1 over 8. Then I'm going to do multiplication, do KCF method, do all this. I'm going to get 3 whole. But if you are not interested in doing this type of thing, then you want to do it by creating something, crafts. So how you can do, you have to take a paper and you have to fold into 3 equal parts, so that every part shows 1/6. Take a equal 6 parts. Take a 6 parts that are equal. Then you have to make groups of 2 2. Like in one part, total 2 are going to be considered. Okay, so you have to remember that 1/6 multiplied by 1 over plus 1/6 equals to 2/6. That means a half. Then you have to count the number of groups. You're going to have 3 groups. That means this is how you're going to get 3 answers. So you can apply both the methods. It's your choice. Like, let's take the pictorial solution again. How many 2/3 are in two holes? Now we have to look at how many 2/3 we can find in two holes. For that we have to do 2 divided by 2 over 3. So I'm going to get 3 because over 1, and then we have to do KCF method, others I'm going to get 3. So there are 2/3 in two holes. But if I want to do it by graph, so how you can take only two papers, take at two papers, and you have to fold each paper into three equal parts. This time each paper is going to show four into three equal parts, and one part shows 1 over 3. Then you have to make groups of 2/3 together. So you have to make two groups of 2/3. Again, remember 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3 equals to 2 over 3. Okay, then you have to come to the number of group. You're going to have 3. So this is the both ways you can do. But if they're saying you to do working, so you have to do this KCF method. If they're going to say you any way you want to do, so you can check it from this way. So reciprocal of a fraction. What is a reciprocal? When we flip a fraction, the answer is the given reciprocal. So whenever I'm having like take example, I'm having 4 over 5. When I flip this fraction, like flip means change the positions. Numerator comes to denominator place, denominator goes to numerator's place. Like if I'm going to have 4 over 5 and I flip it, I'm going to have 5 over 4. And what's the if the same I get, what's the reciprocal of 3 over 2? If you have to flip, so you're going to get 2 over 3. Then what's the reciprocal of 3 whole 1 over 11? First make into improper fraction, I'm going to have 34 over 11. Then flip it 11 over 34. So this means that the reciprocal of a fraction, whenever we flip a fraction, the given answer is a reciprocal. Like if I'm having to find the reciprocal of the following figures, fraction is written over here, and these are the reciprocal of the fraction. Fraction is a 19 over 5, so it's going to be 5 over 19, 1 over 2, 2 over 1, that means 2 whole. 25 over 36, 36 over 25, 5 fourths, that means over 1, 5 over 1, that means 1 over 5, 5 thirds, that means 3 fifths, 1 whole, 1 over 2, that equals to 32, that means 3 over 2, that means 2 over 3. Is it clear? And let me tell you important note, that the reciprocal of unit fraction equals to the whole number. So whenever you're going to have a unit fraction, for example 1 divided by 10 equals to 1 over 10. Okay, if I have to find the reciprocal of this fraction, I'm going to have 10 over 1, that equals to 10 whole. So whenever we are going to find the unit fraction reciprocal, we're going to have the whole number. And we're going to have proper fraction like 73 over 1 over 10. So if I'm going to change it into reciprocal, we're going to come to improper fraction, 110 over 73. And when we're having the reciprocal of a whole number, so that's going to be improper unit fraction. Like I'm having 9 wholes, that makes 9 over 1. Now if I have to change it into reciprocal, I'm going to have 1 over 9, so it's a unit fraction. And if I'm having the reciprocal of 0 over 32, like if 0 is present, that means it is impossible if 0 is present or numerator. So it's impossible, it's undefined. Take a then relation of a fraction and its reciprocal. So let me tell you something. Whenever we multiply a fraction with its reciprocal, the answer is always 1 or whole. Okay ji, like if I'm having an example 5 over 7, if I have to multiply it by reciprocal, so its reciprocal is 7 over 5. So I have to multiply these fractions. Now these fractions are same and these fractions are same. Like this fraction is going to multiply by 5, this is going to multiply by 7. So we're going to have 1 1 1. The answer is going to be 1 multiplied by 1 1 1 1. So we're going to get 1 whole now. Then 30 13, when I have to put under 1, so these fractions are going to be same, these fractions are going to same, I'm going to have 1 whole. So whenever we are multiplying a fraction with its reciprocal, you always get the answer 1. Okay, let me tell you about KCF method. You would be thinking, what's a KCF method? So KCF, don't KFC. So don't think that we are discussing about KFC and we are going to eat KFC. We are just discussing about KCF method. So K means keep the first fraction same. Whatever the first fraction is, you have to keep it same. Then you have to change. C means change. So you have to change the division sign into multiplication sign. F means flip. Whatever is the second fraction, you have to flip it, like you have to find the reciprocal of that. So dividing a whole number by its a fraction. So let's do this. So like if I'm having how many 1/3 are there in one whole. So first of all, we're having a whole that's having 3 equal parts, so we have to put that into pieces. That tell us that there are 3/3 in a whole, and how many 1/3 are there in one whole. So first of all, 1 divided by 1 over 3. So first of all, you have to keep the first fraction same. You have to change the division sign into multiplication. You have to flip the fraction, that means 3 into 3 over 1. Then under 1 you have to put 1, that means 1 over 1 multiplied by 3 over 1 is the fractions. Now multiply, no simplification, so multiply the numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator, that is going to give you 3 over 1. That means 3 whole is the answer. So both ways you can do this. Then how many 113 are there in 3 holes? So we have to find 113 into 3 holes, like 3 divided by 1 over 13. So we have to apply KCF method. You have to keep the first fraction same, but if it's a whole number, then put 1 under it, then the division sign into multiplication sign. Then you have to flip the fraction 1 over 13 into 13 over 1. Then no simplification, so you have to multiply numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. You need to have 39 over 1, that equals to 39. So there are 39 113 present in 3 holes. Then we are having, you have to solve 5 over 13 divided by 1 over 26. So that means we have to do the KCF method. So 5 over 13, you have to keep the fraction same. The division sign is going to be changed into multiplication sign. You have to change 1 over 26 into 26 over 1. Then here, if I get to know 13 and 26 are divided by 3. I'm going to have 5 over 1 multiplied by 2 over 1. Normal simplification, multiply the numerator, denominator with denominator. You're going to get 10 over 1, and the total answer is 10 wholes. Okay. Then if you have to find a quotient, if 2 whole 3 over 5 divided by 1 whole 1 over 2, then you have to do, first of all, I have to change these first fraction into mixed form to its improper fraction. So 5 multiplied by 5, 2 multiplied by 5 equals to 10 plus 3 equals to 13 over 5. Then 1 2 and 3 over 2. Okay, then we have to do the KCF method. Keep the first fraction same, change the division sign to multiplication sign, flip 3 over 2 equals to 2 over 3. So then we are having no simplification. Then multiply the numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. You're going to get 26 over 15. So you're going to get 26 over 15. So it's improper fraction, so you have to change into its mixed number. So we're going to get 1 whole 11 over 15. You have to solve 1 whole 9 over 11 divided by 12 over 77. So first of all, change this mixed number into improper fraction. 1 over 11 equals to 11 plus 9 equals to 20 over 11 plus divided by 12 over 77. Then apply the KCF method. Keep the first fraction same, change division sign to multiplication sign, then flip 12 over 77 into 77 over 12. Okay, so here I can see 11 and 77 divided by 11, so that gives me 20 over 1 multiplied by 7 over 12. And here 20 and 12 are divided by 4, that gives me 5 over 1 multiplied by 7 over 3. Now no more simplification, so multiply the numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. You're going to get 5 over 3. Then 5 over 1, you're going to get 35 over 3. Okay, and its improper fractions to change into mixed number. You're going to get 11 over 11 whole 2 over 3. So let's take the recap of multiplication, whatever we did in multiplication. So what problems of multiplication of fractions? So whenever we are going to have the situations that describe multiplication of fractions, what are that? Like off total, off it, when these comes, such times, such n times, twice and thrice, groups of. And if one information is given about one thing, then required information is talk about more things, so we have to do multiplication in all of these cases we have discussed. So let's take a situation. If a book is 9 whole 8 over 9 centimeters thick, how high will a pile of 6 books will be? So like height of a pile equals to 9 whole 8 over 9 centimeters of 6, and equals to like 9 whole 8 over 9 centimeters multiplied by 6. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to first of all make it into a fraction. It's going to be 1, and you have to first of all make it into a mixed number. So it's a mixed number, so you have to make it into a proper fraction. 9 multiplied by 9 and plus 8, all of that we have to do. But we are just discussing about the statements. Like we have to focus on the statements, because yesterday we were focusing on the answers. So if you have not seen that video, so first of all go and watch that video. You're going to be cleared about the answers. But in this lecture we're going to discuss about multiplication statements. So then situation 2 is that if there are 3 over 10 kg of mangoes in a carton, then what will be the weight of 2 such cartons? So the weight of 2 such carton equals to 3 over 10 kg of 2, and off is going to change to multiplication, and 2 is going to have over 1, and then we have to do the multiplication that we discussed yesterday. Situation 3, that a jogging track is one hole 4 over 5 kilometer long. If Ali jogs around it 2 times, and how many kilometer he has jogged? Like length of track Ali has jogged equals to 2 times one hole 4 over 5 kilometers, that equals to times you are going to be multiply, and 2 over 2 is going to put 1, and if and then you have to do the multiplication. So here you can see it's very easy questions. You can also do them when these are very easy. You can do them and you can like very clear about the concept. Like you have to find a quotient if 2 whole 10 over 21 divided by 1 whole 11 over 28. Then you have to answer this like what will be the cost of 11 whole 1 over 2 liters of petrol if the cost of 1 liter petrol is rupees 262. Then how many 1/5 are there in 5 wholes? So this is what you can do. So this was my today's lecture. I hope so you like the lecture. So for more updates, please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for listening to me very carefully. Thank you to all of you. See you in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.